They say the rules are there to protect us, to guide us, to make society function. But that's the biggest joke of all. The rules aren't there to help you. They're there to control you. Every law, every expectation, every little unspoken norm, it's a chain. And you know what I think. Chains are meant to be broken. They don't want you to see it though. They wrap it up nicely. Call it civilization. Call it order. But the truth is, it's just a cage. A cage built to keep you small, to keep you quiet. And most people, they're fine with it. They think if they follow the rules, they'll be safe. They won't. They won't. But real freedom, that's dangerous. It's chaotic. It means making sacrifices, shedding the illusions you've been taught to believe. They won't tell you that part, will they? That you have to burn down your comfort to see what lies beyond. The funny thing is, they fear those who break the rules, not because they're dangerous, but because they show others that the rules are fragile. They show you that the walls are paper thin. And once you see that, once you realize how easily they can fall, you can never go back to living inside the cage. Oh, they'll call you reckless. They'll call you a rebel, a villain. That's their weapon. Labels, judgments, all designed to keep you in line. But I say, embrace it. Embrace the chaos. And tear down the walls, rip apart the foundations, and let them watch as the system they built crumbles at their feet. There's a cost, though. Freedom always comes with a price. You can't be truly free without giving something up. Your comfort, your security, your place in their perfect little world. But once you've tasted it, once you've felt what it's like to be unchained, nothing else will ever satisfy you again. Sacrifice. They act like it's such a terrible word, like losing what holds you back is something to mourn. But the truth is, the things you sacrifice are the very things that kept you shackled. You can't soar if you're tied to the ground. You can't grow if you're confined by someone else's rules. And here's the kicker. They know it. The people in charge, the ones who make the rules. They know exactly what they're doing. They've built this whole system to keep you in your place, to keep you obedient. But I don't want obedience. I don't want control. I want anarchy. I want freedom. To them, freedom is a threat. It's the one thing they can't control. The one force they can't predict. That's why they try so hard to crush it, to make you believe that freedom is dangerous. And you know what? They're right. Freedom is dangerous. It's messy. It's unpredictable. But it's the only thing that's real. You think following the rules will save you, that it'll protect you from the chaos outside. Newsflash. It won't. The chaos is inside you. It's always been there, bubbling just beneath the surface, waiting for a chance to break free. They've been keeping a cage, telling you that it's wrong, that you need to be good, that you need to behave. But why? Why behave when you could be free? Why follow rules that were never made for you? They weren't made to protect you. They were made to protect them, to keep their world running smoothly, while yours crumbles under the weight of their lies. They don't want you to question it. They don't want you to ask why things are the way they are. Because if you start asking questions, if you start pushing back, their whole house of cards comes crashing down. And I say, let it fall. Let the chaos come. Let it consume everything they hold dear. That's the only way out. You can't tiptoe around it. You can't quietly resist. No, you have to tear it all down. You have to break every rule, every expectation, every lie they fed you since the day you were born. And yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be messy. But that's the price of freedom. And trust me, it's worth it. They want you to think you're powerless, but you're not. You hold the key to your own cage. I know. All you have to do is turn it, walk away, and never look back. But most people won't. Most people are too scared, too comfortable in their little prison cells to even try. But not me. I've never been afraid of the chaos. I've never been afraid to sacrifice everything to be free. And that's why they hate me. That's why they call me the villain, the madman, the one who's gone too far. But the truth is, I'm the only one who's seen how far the lie goes. I am. And here's the best part. They'll try to stop you. They'll come at you with everything they've got, trying to drag you back into the cage. But once you've tasted freedom, once you've broken the rules, there's no going back. You'll laugh in their faces, watching as they try to hold on to the illusion they've created. The rules were never real. They were just stories they told themselves to feel in control, to pretend they could make sense of a world that's always been chaotic. But control is an illusion. Order is an illusion. The only thing that's real is the chaos underneath it all. And once you see that, once you embrace it, you're unstoppable. So go ahead, break the rules. I defy their expectations. Well, sacrifice everything that holds you back, because that's the only way to be truly free. And when the dust settles, when the ashes of their system blow away in the wind, we'll be standing there, laughing, free at last. So you've taken that first step. You've broken the rules, felt the rush of freedom, the weight of their expectations slipping off your shoulders like old skin. But now, what comes next? That's the part they don't want you to think about. They want you to believe that without their rules, without their order, everything will fall apart. But here's the secret. It already has. You see, the rules are a crutch. They're a way for people to avoid responsibility, to avoid the truth that we are all alone in this world, free to make our own choices. But they can't handle that. They need someone to blame when things go wrong, someone to tell them what to do, what to think. They need the rules, not because they work, but because they're afraid of what happens when they don't. But you've tasted something different. You've seen that there's more out there than the tiny little boxes they try to trap you in. You've seen that the rules were never about protecting you, never about keeping you safe. They were about keeping you in line, keeping you docile, making sure you never stepped out of place. But you've already stepped out, haven't you? It's exhilarating, isn't it? That feeling of breaking free, of realizing that the boundaries were never real to begin with. And now, you're hungry for more. You've seen the cracks in their perfect little world, and now you want to rip them open, tear them apart until there's nothing left of the raw, messy truth underneath. That's the part they don't talk about. The part where freedom gets dirty, where you have to sacrifice everything you thought mattered to find out what really does. Oh, they'll come after you. They'll tell you you've gone too far, that you're breaking things that can't be fixed. But that's the point, isn't it? You don't want to fix their broken system. You want to burn it to the ground. And I can soon outward stage. You want to see what happens when the rules no longer apply. When people are forced to face the chaos they've been pretending doesn't exist. And trust me, they will. They'll fight it, of course. People always fight change, especially when it means giving up their precious comfort, their illusion of safety. But deep down they know it's inevitable. They know that the world they've built is nothing more than a house of cards, ready to collapse at the slightest push. And you're the push. But here's the thing, pushing isn't enough. Anyone can knock down a tower, anyone can cause chaos. But to really be free, you have to understand that chaos isn't just destruction, it's creation too. It's about tearing down the old so that something new can rise from the ashes. And that's the part they fear the most, not the destruction, but what comes after. Because once you've broken the rules, once you've shattered their illusions, you're faced with a choice. You can walk away, leave the ruins behind, and live in the freedom you've earned. Or you can step in, take control of the chaos, and build something new, something better. Hey, something they never saw coming. And that's what they really fear. Not just that you'll break the rules, but that you'll rewrite them. That you'll create a world where their power, their control, means nothing. They fear you because you have the power to change everything, to make their carefully constructed systems irrelevant. And that kind of power, that's what real freedom looks like. But don't get me wrong, it won't be easy. There's a reason most people never get this far. Breaking the rules is just the beginning. After that comes the hard part. The part where you have to face the consequences, where you have to sacrifice the comfort and security they cling to so desperately. You'll lose things along the way, friends, family, maybe even yourself. Because real freedom, the kind that shakes the foundations of everything you thought you knew, requires you to let go of everything that holds you back. You can't carry the old world with you into the new one. You have to burn it all. And that's terrifying, isn't it? The thought that you might have to give up everything you've ever known, everything that ever made you feel safe. But that's the price of freedom. That's what they don't tell you when they talk about order and security. They don't want you to know that real freedom is dangerous. It's unpredictable, but it's also the only thing worth fighting for. Our science, outside and work be. So, what now? You've broken the rules, tasted the chaos, and now you're standing on the edge of something new. Do you jump? Or do you turn back, crawl back into the cage they built for you, and pretend that nothing's changed? Most people, they turn back. They're too scared of what lies beyond the rules, too afraid of the unknown. But not you. You're different. You've already made the choice, haven't you? You're not going back. You can't. The old world doesn't fit anymore. The rules don't apply. You've seen too much, done too much, to ever go back to pretending that the system works. And that's what makes you dangerous. That's why they'll come after you. Why they'll do everything in their power to stop you. Because they know that once you've broken free, once you've seen the truth, you can't be controlled. You can't be put back into the box. And that terrifies them. But here's the thing. They're right to be scared. Because once you've embraced the chaos, once you've made the choice to be truly free, there's no stopping you. You'll tear down everything they've built. Not because you want to watch the world burn, but because you know it has to. The old world has to die so that something new can be born. And that's where the real fun begins. You get to decide what comes next. You get to build the world you want. A world without their rules, without their chains. A world where people are free to live, to make their own choices, to embrace the chaos instead of running from it. They'll call you crazy, of course. They always do. But that's just another label, another lie. They tell themselves to feel better about their own fear. Let them call you what they want. It doesn't matter. I might want instance. And for see. I can't see. And no zeroing wrong. Out for me. You know the truth now. You know that the rules were never real. That freedom is worth any price. So, what's it going to be? Do you step into the chaos and build something new? Or do you let them win? Let them pull you back into their broken system, their world of lies. The choice is yours. But remember this. Freedom isn't free. It comes with a cost. And the question is, are you willing to pay it?